What's up, everybody? I'm Clay, and I do want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and thank you for understanding that YouTube is now run by AI. Well, it is allowing general discussions about crypto, NFTs, and other digital assets. That's all that this video is. It's not a promise, promotion, suggestion, recommendation, or guarantee of any kind. Just you and I going over the latest news. We're going to be focusing in on Terra Luna Classic today. Of course, we're going to talk about the overall market. We're going to look at price action, and we're going to jump into this article here that talks about Terra Luna Classic up over 10% with about $100 million in daily volume. So let's first set the stage, right? Terra Luna Classic is an extremely speculative asset. Now, a lot of people view this as their lottery ticket play because it has been, now the supply was different, understand that. It has been above $100 in its history, and now it's down to 4 zeros and a 7, what I call about 7,700 points per coin. Now, with that being said, the overall market is doing well. It's not as well as it could be. It's not as well as it once was, but it's doing well. We're still sitting here at a level of 45 neutrality. Bitcoin trying to rise on the day today. Ethereum about break even. Major altcoins like Solana just below break even. So a little bit of a slow start to the weekend, which we expect, but nonetheless, not a bad start. Now, the Fear and Greed Index is one of the most important indicators in the entire cryptocurrency industry because, of course, a lot of price action, especially speculative assets like Terra Luna Classic, are driven by emotion. And right now, the emotion is cautious. It's neutral. People don't know if prices are going to go up or if prices are going to go down. So they essentially sit on the sidelines, they take a very cautious approach, and the fact that we're seeing Terra Luna Classic rise in value, even though we're seeing caution in the market, is an excellent sign. Because imagine what happens when we start to see greed and extreme greed set into the market. Now, price action. We talked about Terra Luna Classic yesterday, and you know what? It does feel good to talk about Terra Luna Classic. It's spent such a long time down here in no man's land, and it's finally starting to make a comeback, so it does feel very good to be talking about Terra Luna Classic once again. So we're going to jump into this article here and see what these analysts have to say. It says the Terra Luna Classic currently trading around 754 points per coin. At the time that I'm recording, it's even better than that, testing 800 points per coin, currently at 776 points per coin. It says the volume to market cap ratio of approximately 0.23 suggests that steady trading activity without the extreme concentration seen in lower ranked tokens. Bitcoin denominated gains came in at 7.8%, indicating the move had genuine crypto market outperformance rather than being purely a dollar weakness effect. Now, that means that it's a 7.8% gainer against Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, remaining relatively steady on the day today, and Terra Luna Classic up about 10%. Now, it says the token's price in Bitcoin terms was approximately, I don't know how many zeros that is, 98 Bitcoin per LUNC, reflecting the extremely low per unit price that is characteristic of the asset's supply dynamics. Now, the asset supply now is, I believe, 6.5 trillion tokens outstanding. Total supply 6.46 trillion, and total circulating supply 5.51 trillion Terra Luna Classic in circulation right now. It says the burn mechanism and community activity. Terra Luna Classic's community has maintained a token burning initiative since mid-2022. The mechanism involves directing a portion of the transaction fees towards permanently removing Terra Luna Classic's circulation. It says community validators and governance participants have debated the pace and the structure of the burn over multiple governance cycles. The burn rate has been contested periodically, with some community members pushing for a higher tax rate on transactions to accelerate supply reduction. Total supply remains in the trillions, meaning the burn's impact on circulating supply is gradual over any short-term horizon. And of course, it's difficult to burn trillions of tokens, right? Especially if you're looking at a 1% transaction fee, 2%, 10%, tenth of a percent. You know, there's no magic number where it's going to be absolutely perfect. If you increase them too high, people will not transact because the fees are extreme. If they're too low, it doesn't really do anything in terms of burning. It would take thousands of years to reduce this supply. So there's no necessarily magic number in there. What's going to work for you might not work for me, and that's where a lot of the debate comes in. But one thing that I love to see, Binance is leading the initiative. And they're still, guys, I'm going to be completely honest. I would have thought Binance would have given up on Terra Luna Classic years ago. But they're still here. They're still burning. They're still leading the way. And they've recently burned about 1 billion Terra Luna Classic tokens. Think about that. If the world's largest exchange is willing to support Terra Luna Classic, if the world's largest exchange is willing to get behind this cryptocurrency, imagine what is going to be possible. You know, everybody wants to think in terms of, I want to be rich tomorrow. I want to be rich next week. And it starts to fade. I want to be rich next month. Who cares about if being rich next year? And certainly nobody can comprehend being rich 5, 10, 20 years down the road. That's inconceivable to wait that long. But Binance has been steadily reducing the supply and supporting this cryptocurrency for years now, and it's showing. Now, the original Terra blockchain collapsed, and we know the background. You guys have watched these videos before. You're Terra Luna Classic investors. You get it, right? But one of the most impressive things is that people have not gone away. 800 points per coin being tested. We looked at this in the video yesterday. This is resistance. And if this resistance is broken, we could see Terra Luna Classic soaring higher. 2x, maybe 3x, 4x, 5x. Guys, this would be a near 6x gain in Terra Luna Classic if it can simply get the community behind it once again. So I stay excited. I actually do own Terra Luna Classic, and I'm adding futures on the KCEX exchange, which is what you see on the screen right now.